All right, so we got to get into a little bit more. We're not going to get too much more into the Diddy case. There has been like tons of more testimony since we've last discussed. A few male escorts here and there. I believe isn't Kid Cudi now supposed to be testifying? What I seen being reported now.
Yeah.
But I just think that the reaction to Cassie's testimony.
I think he testified today.
Okay, that's what I thought I saw. But I wanted to just get into kind of like the reaction around Cassie's testimony and the defense. And you see just kind of like a lot of people, obviously we had our opinions. Everybody just kind of brought out their opinions. And there was this discussion around questioning Cassie and saying, hey, are we allowed to say some of your story seems fishy and potentially we feel like you were a participant rather than a victim? And I think that was kind of going on. I think I sent you a clip with Gilbert Arenas playing it. So I wanted to play that in just a moment.
I think it's really, it's a gray area and it's like a shady area for us to like start questioning her role in being a victim. Mm-hmm. Because being a victim is extremely complicated. It messes with your head. It changes your morphology basically completely. So I don't think any of us regular people who haven't been through this type of trauma at all could speculate as to whether her behavior over the 13 years that she was with him is normal or not. We don't have the basis at all. And sometimes it's okay to be like, I don't have enough knowledge to have an opinion on this.
Oh, that dirty. Oh, you don't listen to Kid Cudi no more? Breaking news, Kid Cudi. What are you going to... Look at breaking news. It says trafficking and racketeering. What the fuck is he going to go up there and say? The nigga tried to burn my car? What does that got to do with racketeering and sex trafficking? Was the motherfucker in there hiding? Was they sex trafficking people through your car before you burn? What does your testimony have to do with these charges? I think the DA doing this shit on purpose. You better start bringing in some motherfucking kidnappers. We don't care about everything else. I don't care about the assistant wanting a job, not wanting a job, getting hit with a skillet. I don't care. Where the kidnapped people at? Where they at? That's what I came here for. I want to see motherfuckers, slave-looking people coming out bushes and shit. Y'all done found them. Like, this is crazy. Yeah. Come on.
Okay, so that's my boy Gilbert, man. You know, that's my guy. But the ignorance is off the charts.
Before you begin, there's one part in like before the trial, I did think that like it would be much more dramatic than it currently is from what we're seeing. Like I really thought that they was gonna be like pulling people out his basement. Like,
well, I think that's one of
like
the
on
issues.
some R. Kelly.
I think that's one of the issues that we kind of have as a group of people where we see things like this. It has to be this super violent, vile,
the most dramatic.
Yeah, like we have to make this into this complex thing when the fact that he blew up someone's car is a crime. That's racketeering.
And then they have to like let the jury know that this is the type of behavior that this man has engaged in the past however many decades. Like this is who he is. So he is capable of XYZ, which is what we're charging him with.
One of the other things that people don't understand is like you can ask questions about a case. That's nothing wrong with asking a question. There is a thing such as a bad faith question. And what I mean by that is if you're paying attention to the trial and you're listening to the facts that she's telling, the context that she's putting this into, then you would easily understand that her brain is not in the place that it can make a conscious decision. I said this when I was in Spaces the other day. I said, you keep placing her and asking in situations and asking, why didn't you act rationally when she was not she was in an irrational state? Yeah. She was not a rational person at that moment. So to ask her why she didn't do something rational is a bad faith question. And it feels like either you don't care about the case, and so you're just asking questions just to have yourself be heard, or you're sinister and you're trying to make this woman who's clearly giving you reason to believe that she was abused, was a mental victim to somebody, and you're just trying to demonize her instead.
All sides,
of course,
and y'all cooking.
of course.
I'm gonna read y'all what Willie D had to say because
I mean,
I enjoy Willie D.
Southern man.
I absolutely love
that's
Willie
my brother.
D.
Shout out to Willie D.
Willie D says, I know some of you are about to be tight over what I'm about to say, but I'll take my chances. See, Willie D is brave and niggas already. He jumping out there, but that's why I f with him.
Yeah.
I don't have a dog in the fight, but using Cassie's youth as a blanket excuse for the choices she made during her decade-long relationship with Diddy is problematic because it removes the necessary element of accountability, without which no one learns or grows. Diddy and Cassie is a cautionary tale for men who use their money and power to abuse others. On the flip side, it tells young women who will come after Cassie, no matter what you get yourself into and who gets hurt, as long as you are young, you won't be held accountable. By her own admission, she stayed not out of fear, but because she didn't want another woman to take her place. Cassie is not some helpless victim. She is a savvy home-wrecking opportunist who left Ryan Leslie for Diddy, knowing he was with Kim Porter simply to upgrade her lifestyle, turning both Kim and Ryan into collateral damage. And let's not forget the kids. In court, she testified that she enjoyed the freak-offs, just not as often as Diddy did. She ultimately left him for the trainer he paid for, tried to blackmail him for $30 million, and when that failed, sued him and walked away with $20 million. Now that she's the prosecution star witness trying to bury him, yes, Diddy was abusive and should have been punished for it. But let's not pretend Cassie didn't cash in after every black. No, I don't feel comfortable saying that.
So before
That's so weird.
And I feel like Joe was using that as a way to push his own talking points out.
Yeah, without
being
saying it
accountable.
himself and taking accountability, which is really fucking ironic because how are you trying to not take accountability for your own opinion and saying that this victim should take accountability for being victimized?
So then the Joe Budden community had a space that was actually talking about this, and a lot of women came up on stage and they voiced their opinion about how they thought it was very ignorant.
It
They thought
was.
It was disgusting, the conversation they were having, and it got to the point where Joe came up on stage where he was upset about this, and it's like, but nigga, you are ignorant. You are ignorant about this, and you probably come from a mindset, when you think about this, your mindset, your brain, the way that you process this, you come from a mindset that, hey, I potentially engage in certain behaviors like this.
You
that can
and
be
Diddy are
interpreted.
nipple brothers. Y'all are nipple buddies. Y'all rub nips together.
See, I wasn't gonna go that far.
I will, like both of y'all. Y'all are both weirdo nipple rubbing niggas.
And again, this idea around domestic violence, around the fact that his issue with the word Stockholm syndrome and stuff like that, these are just things that you're not
Issue with Stockholm syndrome because you don't fucking know what Stockholm syndrome is.
No, it's because he can't allow he can't allow for his actions to have a level of accountability. Like I said, we've talked about this on the show before, a list of women who have accused him of something. So when you have that mindset of, and just we talked about the way he deals with his girl, when you have this mindset of I am the bigger deal, I'm the bigger person, you feel like anybody should just fall in line. Like there's a part in his brain where he feels like Cassie should have just fell in line. That you were in a position that you were not going to make for yourself. So why are you upset about anything that you have to do? But y'all don't take into consideration anything that y'all say and add a little bit of critical thinking. Just a little bit.
Y'all don't like doing that.
Because if you ask the fact that she's 19, she's not fully developed. She's learning how to be a woman from this man. Then you try to bring in Ryan Leslie. She was 16, abused. Her brain is nothing but abuse. And this goes in, and I've said this on the show before, and I'm going to say it again. If Aaliyah was still alive, all of y'all would hate her if she told her story.
Yeah.
All of y'all would hate her.
She wouldn't be your baby girl anymore. She would be a whore. And she'd like, oh, why did you wait so long to come out and tell us and this and that? Like,
that's exactly what I see when I see these conversations with people. And I feel bad for like the women that have to hear it, because it lets you know like men for a large part don't understand consent, and they don't see a female body as something that needs to be viewed as a person. It's very clear that way.
And then whoever this Willie D guy is saying that Cassie took Diddy away from Kim and this and that. Like, Diddy wasn't like planning whole elaborate events just to like get near her and trick her into like being near him. That's not even true.
And just to wrap up the section, Joe did another thing that was really nasty. He gave Mark a book, and the book was from, I guess, a former bodyguard of Diddy. And this bodyguard is on trial, I believe, for rape. And like the book, I guess, is trying to like justify him or try to say he's innocent or whatever. But just to pass that book when there are women in this world right now who know who that individual is, who have made claims against him and are trying to fight that he goes in jail, to just, oh, he's a good dude, read the book. It's vile, man. That's some sick stuff to me.
Even though I enjoy Mark on the show, I don't know how long I can like blindly just continue listening to this podcast with the running list of atrocities that Joe has committed against women. Like, I think I'm just gonna stop listening to the show again. Like, really enjoy Mark, but
just listen to the Night School.
Yeah, everybody else is just terrible.